In 5 Stages of Greek Religion, Gilbert Murray suggested that after Socrates had disillusioned his society, Greek civilization was around the corner from the Renaissance. But, he said, they seemed to panic at the prospect and instead bought into new myths. In a chapter entitled The Failure of Nerve, he wrote, "The great thing to remember is that the mind of man cannot be enlightened permanently by merely teaching him to reject some particular set of superstitions. There is an infinite supply of other superstitions always at hand. And the mind that desires such things, that is, the mind that has not trained itself to the hard discipline of reasonableness and honesty, will, as soon as its devils are cast out, proceed to fill itself with their relations." In this book on leadership, I will describe a similar failure of nerve affecting American civilization today. But I will add, when anxiety reaches certain thresholds, reasonableness and honesty no longer defend against illusion, and then even the most learned ideas can begin to function as superstitions. When anxiety reaches certain thresholds, even the most learned ideas can begin to function as superstitions. I believe there exists throughout America today a rampant sabotaging of leaders who try to stand tall amid the raging anxiety storms of our time. It is a highly reactive atmosphere pervading all the institutions of our society, a regressive mood that contaminates the decision-making processes of government and corporations at the highest level, and on the local level seeps down into the deliberations of neighborhood church, synagogue, hospital, library, and school boards. It is something in the air that affects the most ordinary family no matter what its ethnic background. And its frustrating effect on leaders is the same no matter what their gender, race, or age. It is my perception that this leadership-toxic climate runs the danger of squandering a natural resource far more vital to the continued evolution of our civilization than any part of the environment. We are polluting our own species. The more immediate threat to the regeneration, and perhaps even the survival, of American civilization is internal, not external. It is our tendency to adapt to its immaturity. To come full circle, this kind of emotional climate can only be dissipated by clear, decisive, well-defined leadership. For whenever a family is driven by anxiety, what will also always be present is a failure of nerve among its leaders. This book is for parents and presidents. It is also for CEOs and educators, prioresses and coaches, healers and generals, managers and clergy. It is about leadership in the land of the quick fix, about leadership in a society so reactive that it cannot choose leaders who might calm its anxiety. It is about the need for clarity and decisiveness in a civilization that inhibits the development of leaders with clarity and decisiveness. It is for leaders who have questioned the widespread triumphing of data over maturity, technique over stamina, and empathy over personal responsibility. And it is for anyone at all who has become suspicious of the illusions of change. Suspicious of the modern fashion wherein solutions as well as symptoms burst upon us in every field of endeavor, management, healing, education, parenting, and then disappear as unexpectedly as they had first appeared, only to be supplanted by the fad of another issue or cure, sending everyone back to square one. Whenever a family is driven by anxiety, what will also always be present is a failure of nerve among its leaders. The emphasis here will be on strength, not pathology, on challenge, not comfort, on self-differentiation, not herding for togetherness. This is a difficult perspective to maintain in a seatbelt society more oriented towards safety than adventure. This book is not, therefore, for those who prefer peace to progress. It is not for those who mistake another's well-defined stand for coercion. It is not for those who fail to see how in any family or institution a perpetual concern for consensus leverages power to the extremists. And it is not for those who lack the nerve to venture out of the calm eye of good feelings and togetherness and weather the storm of protest that inevitably surrounds a leader's self-definition. For whether we are considering a family, a work system, or an entire nation, the resistance that sabotages a leader's initiative usually has less to do with the issue that ensues than with the fact that the leader took initiative. It will be the thesis of this work that leadership in America is stuck in the rut of trying harder and harder without obtaining significantly new results. The rut runs deep, affecting all the institutions of our society irrespective of size or purpose. It even affects those institutions that try to tackle the problem: universities, think tanks, and consultants.